Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about some of the shoes that I've been using on trail and also do a little unboxing of something new that came in for my last 500 something miles of the AT this summer. Alright, so here's the last two pairs of shoes that I bought. It's the Cascadia 11s, Gore-Tex, and the Cascadia 12s. I bought these, the Cascadia 12s had come out, but the Gore-Tex version hadn't been released yet. So the Gore-Tex version I bought, this is an older pair of shoes. The Gore-Tex version I bought in, was it late May of 2017, going north out of Hot Springs, my second season starting out on the AT. And the Gore-Tex lining in here let me replace you see that silver lining? Let me replace my big heavy boots. My big heavy boots were hurting my knees. The drop was off, the soles were really stiff, and my knees were just getting destroyed. I walked, it was like an angled 5-mile downward hike into Irwin, it felt like, and my knees just exploded. I was at a slope like this, walking down all day, and it was cool, but it really hurt my knees in those boots. So, I had these terrible blisters. I probably have scars. I had these terrible blisters here on the back of my heels. Just awful. These things are awesome. Yeah, your feet kind of get wet, right? But when you get to camp, you take your socks off, you dry your feet out, and then you put some camp socks on, thick wool socks to wear just in your tent or whatever. The only thing that sucks is if you don't have camp shoes, you go to put these on and they're wet. Same with these shoes. You go to put your shoes back on and they're wet, and you just have to take your socks off or put your dirty socks back on. You don't want to get your camp socks wet. Your camp socks get soaked in like seconds. But these take a while to dry out. But I've never had them be wet for more than half a day. You walk in sneakers, they'll dry out. And the Gore-Tex does release some moisture. It's not trapping, it's not like a plastic bag. It does get hot when it's above the, getting into the upper 40s. Your feet will get hot, but it's so nice during the day in the colder months. Here, moving on to the 12s. The 12s are unbelievable. You see the 11s here, they're a little bit bigger size, so you might not notice the difference so much, but the 12s have a wider foot box. I think these are, it's all worn out. I think these are a half a size larger, because the 11s, I needed the little bit wider foot box from a size up, and yeah, they look bigger, don't they? But this is a wider toe box. This is a 9.5, and oh my goodness, it's a great shoe. It has these somewhat flat laces. They don't dig into the top of your foot here, and I can cinch it down just perfectly to where it feels like I'm wearing a slipper, and nothing moves around. You see how deep this heel pocket is? Here, let me show you. This heel pocket goes down at an angle, and it goes away from your heel, and there's no seam back there or anything. And the 12s just don't give me heel blisters. It's amazing. And this whole upper is mesh, the entire thing, so my feet don't get as hot in them. You see some of the wear on here. That right there is worn. But other than that, these get worn as my daily shoe now, and they're, I've worn them for 5 months on concrete and stuff, and they're fine. Unbelievable shoe. Now I will say, these shoes already have, I think 200 miles on them, and I've been wearing them since I got off trail this last September. So I think that I'm kind of retiring them to home life, because if they've been worn 200 something miles on trail, they're halfway through their trail life, where their support is enough to protect my feet. So they're going to turn into home sneakers, and like going out and doing stuff sneakers. They smell like cat litter though, because of all the sweat and probably broken down muscle sweating down into them and making them smell really bad. Oh, one difference between the 11s and the 12s. I mean, the 11s are still great shoes. I mean, they're what brought me to Cascadia, so there's not anything terrible about them, just the wider foot box is nice on the 12s. You can still go with the 11s if the 12s work for you. But here, there are these two things here, like kind of like stiffeners for the mesh uppers, and they reduced it here on the mesh upper of the 12s. It's much more like flexible and like not as rigid here, where they just like put on this like thick putty or whatever and let it dry. This is a little stiffer putty, or you know, rubberized, whatever. And when you walk, this bends in here and rubs the top of my toe on both feet. I think this one's the one that had like the big blister on it. And after a while, that gets a little annoying. That has to break in. No break-in on these shoes. Since these are a little larger than they're supposed to be, I think that's why they rubbed my toe like that. The toe was a little too long. But these are the Gore-Tex versions, and they have protected my feet in snow, and they're absolutely amazing. You probably see the silver liner in there, the Gore-Tex liner. These shoes are awesome. They are great for like winter conditions where it doesn't really get out of the 20s during the day and it gets colder at night, and your feet are getting cold while you're walking in normal trail runners, and you want the protection and warmth, toe warmth of boots, but you don't want to clomp around in boots. These are the shoes. I thought about trying the Ultras, but I'm scared to switch and go out on trail and not have the ability to replace my shoes if I'm getting blisters and stuff. So I'm just going to stick with what I know. The Zero Drop is interesting, but and I'm going to try it at some point. And I also like the gator trap on the back, but I know it works for me. These shoes have been unbelievable. We've got 10mm drop. I think both do. These shoes are great. They don't have like an integrated rock guard. There might be something in there, but usually there's like a more visible like hard patch. But the cushioning has been fine. I haven't ever stepped on anything and hurt the arch of my foot, my midsole. You can feel stuff through the shoe. Like you can feel rocks and stuff, but it doesn't really seem to contribute to my foot fatigue at all. And I prefer the ground feel, a little bit more flexible sole. This is the National Parks edition. I super glued on these patches. I'm gonna have to try to rip them off and put them on my next pair of shoes. And now for the unboxing. Ordered this from Camp Saver. I got a 20% off coupon that I found online through like Google Shopping tab, and it popped up and it's like, huh, special deals. Clicked on it, and I actually found 20% off on one item on Camp Saver and 20% off one item on Moose Jaw. And I used the 20% off the item on Moose Jaw to get my sleeping pad, and I saved a good, I think, $40 on it. So that was pretty cool. This is going to be my new pair of new color that I've never seen before, Cascadia 12s, those green ones. So we'll pull them out and see how they look and if I like the color. There we go, Cascadia 12s 9.5D. Ooh, those are bright. Nice colors. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't like the color, but I think it's very nice and highlighted with the bright green there, the lime-looking green. Yeah, it's a little darker than lime. Maybe like a real lime. But I really like that. Compare it to the old shoe. This is the National Parks edition, which is pretty cool. I think I like the blue ones better. And I'll show you here against my foot. The shoe looks a lot longer than it is. It took me a while to figure out that I needed like a half size larger in order to keep my toes from bumping into the toe box. But this measurement and having a wide enough toe box is almost more important than having a toe box that's short. You know, like you don't want to go crazy long so you have clown shoes, but it really isn't going to make that much of a difference if the toes are a little long. But having the toe box wide enough is going to help make your foot much more comfortable. So it looks like this shoe's too big for my foot, but when I actually put it in there, it's just about perfect. And that wider toe box means that my pinky isn't being smashed into the rest of my feet, you know? And I really appreciate it. It's nice when it comes back a little bit. It's like right about here. And I do have, you know, like a little bit longer above my big toe, but you see I have a hammer toe. And that's really important that none of those toes on the right smash into that toe box. Hey, thank you for watching. I'm going to edit this video up and hope that you give the Cascadia 12s a chance. They've worked out really well for me. And if you liked the video, hit like. If you disliked it, hit dislike. And check out some of my other videos. I've got some more camping stuff going on. Have a good day.